Welcome to this SCOMIS bite-sized recording of using Google for Education, collaborating with others, sharing documents in Google Drive. In this recording, I will be demonstrating how to share documents with others from online storage in Google Workspace, including navigating Google Drive, sharing documents in Google Drive, collaborating in real time with others using Google Apps, and reviewing version histories and edits.
Okay, let's turn to having a look at online storage in Google for Education. And just to save a bit of time, I've already signed in to my web browser. And what I'm going to do is click on the important 9 doing dots and go down and click on Google Drive. And there are different ways you can actually access Google services such as Drive. So I've navigated via the app menu, but if I'm signed into my browser, I could also just as easily go to drive.google.com, and because I'm signed in, it takes me straight to my own online storage area. The cloud storage area is encrypted, so it's GDPR compliant, and it's far safer than having important documents on a memory stick that you can lose or break. So I'm just quickly going to show you the main areas. At the moment, I've got My Drive highlighted, and that's similar to your own personal network drive or your own storage space. And any documents in this area can only be accessed by yourself unless you share them with others and your IT administrator from your organization. The other area that we have is shared drives. Now, at the moment with my test account, I don't have any shared drive set up, but typically in a school, you'd see different resource areas such as staff area, student resources, and these are just secure areas where you can share documents with other people, rather like a server network drive, but stored on the cloud. And the other option I want to show you in here is the shared with me. Now, when you click on shared with me, you don't actually see documents in here. You see links to documents that other people have shared with you. So if someone creates a document and they share it with you, when you click on shared with me, you see almost a hyperlink, and you can click on that and then you can access that document. If that other person revokes sharing the document with you, it disappears from your shared with me list. Okay, let's now look at how you can work with documents within your online storage. So within Google Drive, I've selected my drive because that's the area that I want to work off, and I just want to show you that you can actually work with all your existing resources. So I'm going to click on the new button. I can actually create a blank document of different formats, and that would automatically save and open up in Google Drive. But in this case, I want to upload a document I've created earlier. I could, if I wanted, upload a whole folder full of documents, but in this case, it's just an individual document, and it will ask me where the document is, and I can browse to a memory stick or browse to a drive on my PC. And you can see in this example, I'm actually going to upload a Microsoft Office document. And it's just uploading. And what you'll notice is it's uploaded that document into my drive, and it's actually changed the icon. It's actually changed it into a Google Doc. And that's because when I went to my settings, I set them in Google Drive to convert Microsoft Office documents into Google Docs format. And that just means I can work and collaborate with them in things like Google Classroom, which is the sort of control center where you share documents with groups of students. One of the other things I can do is I can open that document straight up, and it will open it up on the cloud. So it will open it straight up into Google Docs, so I don't need to launch it from a bit of software installed on the machine. So that's great for students accessing at home because they don't need applications installed on their home PC. They're just running all of this off the cloud. Another neat feature is that once you've opened it in Google Doc, you could actually download in all sorts of different formats. So you could actually convert it into a PDF or a different type of document format. But I'm just going to close that down just to show you how easy it is to organize your work. I'm going to click on the new, I'm going to create a new folder. Let's call this Worksheets. Another neat thing that you can do within Google is you can actually color code your folders to make it easy for you to organize your work. And just as you could on a Windows PC, you can drag and drop and organize your work into folders and subfolders. So that's just showing you how you can sort of preview, open and upload documents. The other really important thing is just to show you how you can share or collaborate on a document. So let's say this is a document and I want to collaborate and work on it with someone else in real time. I can share that document, and I'm sharing it from my drive. I could type in the name of the person, the spell, I want to share it with. So let's say I want to share it with this test student account. I could send them a message if I like and send them an email message. And the other thing I have to set is not only who I want to share it with, and this could be a whole group of people, but what rights I want them to have. And in this case, I can make them an editor so they can edit the document, a commentator where they can't change the document, but they can add comments, or a viewer where it's read only. So in this case, I'm going to make them a viewer and I'm going to share that document. Now, if I switch to another view, so what I've done is I've actually started up there we go. I've logged into a separate browser window, but this time it's with that test student account. So this is their Google Drive. And just to show that if I click on shared with me, you can see that they can actually see this document has been shared by the teacher to the student. And this is just a link to this document. The document isn't actually saved in their own area. And if they double click on it, they can view the document and work on it. And then just to show you, as the teacher, if I want to then revoke permission, I can go back to my teacher account, click to share the original document. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to remove the test student. So I can remove them from being shared, save that. And then if I just go back to the student view, you should be able to see that in shared with me, access to that document has disappeared. So that's a really nice and an easy way that you can share documents with others within Google Drive. Okay, so what I wanted to show you next is why it's a really powerful benefit of G Suite for Education to be able to share and collaborate on documents with others in real time. And for the purpose of this exercise, I've logged into two browser windows. The one on the left is signed in as the teacher, and the one on the right is signed in as a student. And what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to, in Google Drive, I'm going to create a blank Google document, in this case a word processing document, and it will load up in a separate tab with all the editing tools. And again, this is a great feature because I don't need the word processing software installed on the machine that I'm using. It's just running off the cloud. At the moment, it's called it untitled document. And if I go to Google Drive, you'll see that it's automatically saved. So that's another great feature of G Suite. You don't have to save as you go along. Everything is recorded, every single edit. And it's great for students because, as I say, they don't have to remember to go file and save as before they sign out. So I'm just going to call this consultation documents. And let's say that this is a consultation document that I want to send out to all students in the school. And I'm just going to insert, I don't know, a little table, and let's just ask a couple of questions. Let's ask 3 questions. I want the person's name. I want to ask them if they want school uniform, yes or no, and the reason. So this could be a document I'm sharing with students, but I could make this a staff policy document and share it with other members of school staff. And I don't have to share direct from Google Drive. I'm actually going to give it a bit more of a descriptive name. And if I click in the untitled, it will suggest a name that I can overtype. I'm happy to call it consultation document. And you can see in Google Drive, it will change the file name. And rather than sharing from Google Drive, I'm going to share from Google Docs. Now, I could type in a whole list of staff, a distribution group, but in this particular case, I am just going to share with this individual student, just so you get a view of what happens. And where is it? Test student. And I'm going to make them an editor, and I'm not going to email them. So I'm going to share that. Now, if we go over to the right-hand window and I click on Shared with Me, I can see that the student's now got access to that consultation document and they can open it. So both the teacher and the student are working on this document at the same time. And if the student goes to complete the document, they can type their name, they can type their answers, and I don't know, what should I put, like being roughly, there we go. And what you'll notice is on the left-hand side, the teacher can see who is typing at any one time. They can see the avatars or a list of everyone who's accessing that document, and everyone is color-coded so that when they type, so I could actually, let's pretend as a teacher, I want to put the answer to this, yes, and I can say the teacher wants this because students look smart. So what you can see here is that you could work on this document with a large number of people all at the same time, and it's great. It's far better than sending a document out by email, everyone editing it and then sending it back. You can have one live document which the owner stores in their Google Drive, they share it out with others, and you can collaborate in real time. Now at the end, if I don't want to share this anymore, I can just revoke the permissions from people who I don't want to be able to work on the document, and then that document will disappear from their Shared with Me and they can't access it anymore. But if I want to see who has worked on the document, I can go in to see the version history, and then you can see it color codes it with all the edits from the document. So this is great for working with students, because even if they type something silly and then delete it, nothing is ever lost, everything is recorded. And as I say, you can use this with students, but you might want to collaborate on lesson plans with other members of staff, and it's a really useful feature to be able to work on a live document all at the same time.
So we've now come to the end of this bite-sized recording. Hopefully that's given you an overview of how you can use Google Drive to share documents and collaborate with others. Thank you for listening. For further help or advice, please do not hesitate to contact SCOMIS on 01392 385300. Thank you.